Welcome back to The Pulse, and you can tweet at us with the hashtag The Pulse. My personal handle is @Denana Aisha. You can also join the conversation via all our social media handles. Now, 3 nominees for various metropolitan, municipal and district assemblies have been rejected by assembly members as of Tuesday. Shockingly, Kwabre East district, host of the constituency with the highest votes for the ruling party, is one of the affected areas. Atwima Nwabiagya and Juaben are district assemblies where members are not convinced about the nominees. Nanaya Ojema has been speaking to Love News researcher Eugene Osei on the developments so far.
Since Monday, approval for some of the nominees for the MMDCE positions in the Ashanti region have been ongoing, and we've had some rejections in the Ashanti region and also some of the president's nominees going through. With me is Eugene Osei of our research desk of Love FM to tell us what his findings have been so far. So Eugene, so far, what have you realized from the elections?
In the Ashanti region thus far, we are having 16 of these elections being conducted. That represents 37% of the total election expected thus far. We've also had 13 of them being approved, some getting 100%. For example, when you go to the Asoka constituency, we have the MMDCE there, Akwenya Sejima getting 100%. When you go to Obuasi Municipal, we have Elijah Adansebona getting 100%. When you go to Obuasi East, Faustina Emis also having 100%. When you go to Setre area, yesterday there was Setre East district, Benjamin Kingsley had 71%. So there are varied percentages coming.
Some of the president's nominees have been rejected. What is that telling us about the kind of people who were nominated for the positions?
So it tells us that normally the assembly members are looking beyond the political affiliation or the party line. They are looking at people who are competent, people who can deliver results, because these are the people they've been working with in the last 5 years. So for me, it goes to prove that the assembly members are not just looking at maybe what they will get or the financial dividend, but they are looking at competency. When you take the Kwabre East area, when you take the Kenyase and Tua roads, one of the main concerns of the people of Kwabre is their roads. Sakawo, Noma, Pontin, all these areas. So they are complaining bitterly about the poor nature of roads in their municipality. I think that played a key role in the rejection of the MMDCE in that area.
Now, the one who was rejected is a new entrant.
Yes.
So you expect that if the people are expecting these roads to be fixed, they should approve him, or if they should have some level of confidence in him, he should be approved.
I think that they are just making a statement to the appointing authority that you cannot take us for granted. For example, when it comes to the Ashanti region, the constituency that gives the MPP the biggest voting margin is the Kwabre East region. When you take the 2016 election results, they gave close to 81,000 votes. In the 2020 results, though they had an independent candidate from the stock of the MPP, they still put 71,000 votes for the MPP. So they are making a statement to the president. You cannot just change the candidate and expect us to confirm the candidate.
For the Kumasi Metropolitan Assembly and also the Asukariman municipality, there have been a lot of issues. These are areas that a number of people in the Ashanti region believe will be the toughest of the number that we've seen so far. Through your investigation and also the work you've been doing in these areas, what are the dynamics?
The issue with the KMA has to do with the assembly members saying that there are some outstanding debt that the government owes them, some 50 million cedis or so. I believe that
owes the assembly members or KMA?
Or KMA, because they are part of the assembly members, and I think that they will have some financial dividend from that money. I think that the government must pay some of these monies for the local government machinery to run smoothly. Sampai has a certain semblance of war chest when it comes to the politics of the region. He's been the regional secretary of the MPP. He also has been an assembly member himself twice. He's been part of the local assembly structure of the region. So I think that he has some competence under his belt. The Asukariman is normally dominated by 65 to 70% of Muslims or people of northern extraction. Their contentment or their issue with the government is that you are bringing somebody from Inshiayeso who's not just any person, the person who's been an MP for the area for 1 term, to become the municipal chief executive for Asukariman. Also, this person didn't apply to Asukariman. The person we know for record and for fact applied to the KMA. So it's as if you are giving us a reject of KMA. So the demographics are many. So sometimes the outliers are able to see more of the issues that bedevil the people. Maybe Kennedy can come, maybe that. But for me, I think that when Ali Dusedu Manaf and the various camps are spoken to, the assembly members are spoken to, and the reasons for the appointment of Kennedy can come and explain to them. I think that they may be able to accept him, and who knows, maybe he may put as a crema upon the map.
Nana Ojima joins us via Zoom for more. Nana Ojima, tell me, what are the reasons for the rejections? Do you know?
As explained earlier in the report that I filed, you find out that there are some areas that they believe that development is not being brought to them as expected. So they have people they believe will be able to help bring development to these areas, and these are some of the people that they expected the government to appoint. That's why some of the assembly members have rejected some nominees in the areas. And mind you, there's one of the municipality districts where the previous assembly member, the previous district chief executive was once again nominated by the government. And ahead of that, the people had indicated that they didn't want this person to be brought back to them, and government, ignored this warning that was coming from the assembly members and appointed the people. So some of the assembly members have sworn that they reject these people till the government find some sense in what they are saying and bring them the people they desired. So it's mainly due to the choices of the assembly members and also some people on the ground. But for the Kumasi Metropolitan Assembly and also the Askorman municipalities, these are peculiar issues. For instance, at the KMA, according to the assembly members, government have made KMA use some funds that were generated internally for some projects, and government have refused to pay back these money. So the assembly members have sworn to vote against the government nominee. So until government pays this amount that they're expecting government to pay. So this is one of the reasons why the Regional Coordinating Council is yet to set a date for the KMA elections, because they believe that the consultations that will have to be done at the assembly have not yielded any positive results. So until then, places like Askorman and also Kumasi Metropolitan Assembly, the elections, the dates for the elections are yet to be communicated to the public.
But how many of them were nominated by the president? How many have been confirmed? How many are yet to be confirmed? And how many of them are likely to be rejected after these three?
So the Ashanti region has 43 districts. And so far, as at this morning, 19 had been done. 3 of the nominees had been rejected. Today, there are some areas where the elections were conducted. For instance, the nominee for Justice Chidumase has been able to poll 80% of the votes. It means he has been successful. And there are other areas in the Ashanti region that today the elections have been held, but the results for these elections they are yet to be communicated to the public, or they are yet to come to our notice. So we'll keep monitoring events. But talking about areas that the people that it's expected that there's a high chances that the nominees for these areas might be rejected. The Askorman municipality is one of them, and the KMA, if the ultimatum that the people are given is not honored, there are chances that these areas to the assembly members may reject them. And at Kumawu, the previous DCE has also been renominated, and there are issues in the area. So the information that we are getting is that some of the assembly members do not approve of his appointment or renomination, and therefore they may vote against him. So these are areas that the information you are picking from the ground are not too favorable for the government.
Nana Ojima is my colleague in the Ashanti region monitoring the MMDCE confirmations for us. We'll have more for you in our subsequent bulletins.